Hello, everybody. It was another overbought rally today in the overall stock market. First off, the good news is that the Dow Jones Transportation Average led. That's always a good sign. The bad news is, where is the volume? Similar situation with the Russell 2000. It led the way higher, up 0.97%. Once again, though, even though volumes are relevant here on Telechart, where was it? It was below the day before's. The NASDAQ managed to rally just 0.09%. But once again, we're overbought. And once again, where's the volume? Nowhere to be seen on the rally. The NASDAQ 100 was actually able to pull back a little bit. Dow Jones Industrial Average actually was up today 0.26%, and the S&P 500 was up 0.35%. So only the NASDAQ 100 was down today. But overall, it's kind of iffy out there. NYSE volume was higher, but we're very overbought. The McClellan oscillator, I'm not going to pull it up because it's kind of weird. It has to be a line chart on Warden, but it's at 106, which is the highest it's been since 2014. So we are extremely overbought short term here. Everybody should definitely expect a pullback. But with the volatile market comes some unfortunate, decisions that get made on my end and everybody else's end. And what are you going to do? Remember, I've been saying it forever. This is an intraday kind of market. In the morning, we were looking at stocks like UPL, and I was a fan of GASL intraday. Today, I didn't make any trades as I live on Maui, and I had to live a normal life, so I went to bed immediately after the market opened. Saw some great moves out there. Gave them to everybody, so everybody had a chance to play them. But one of the more interesting things in this tape is that the major volatility continues. So on an end-of-day trend following basis, OME is a 50% sell because 2215 close is below the most recent important support level, 2225, 2226. It was splitting hairs since its breakout attempt there. It looked good initially after going long. It took 2 days, but we still had a 4% gain. But today, OME pulls back on heavier volume. It's actually trading still above the 20-day moving average, so it's only a 50% sell, and it actually did not move below my final sell stop, 2134. However, I've raised my final sell stop to today's low a day, so a move below 2150 will completely get me out of Omega Protein Corporation. But that kind of trading, in OME is, pretty typical of this tape. And also, that reminds me of a full sell that we had back on 224 EBR. I made mention after going long, it decided to gap up the very next day. I did not move my limits up to 157. I kept them at 153. The next day, I got filled. Unfortunately, the next day, it decided to gap down to 140. Now, I was knocked out of half of it, obviously, on that day, but I decided to go ahead and move up my final sell stop to the low day of 140. And intraday, obviously, on the 26th, I was not completely out. But it wouldn't have mattered because low day was 136, and my final sell stop from the original position was 137. So he would have been knocked out anyway. I have told everybody in the chat room that I 100% expected that to be a shakeout. It wouldn't surprise me if we move immediately, I said, to new highs. Hilarious, funny market. Absolutely comical. But that's the kind of tape that we're in. Instead of having right now sitting on a 13% gain, instead we realized losses, and then it immediately turned around and went higher. And that's just typical OCLR. As I said, we were long back here. We got shaken out. It's 60% higher. And look at GSV today. Finally reversing. If you remember, our long signal is back here. Now up 93%. We were completely knocked out in January. So this is a volatile tape. That's going to happen. In any other tape, I swear to God, this doesn't happen. You just don't have this kind of shakeout. We're not going to violate multiple support levels and then just immediately snap back. But there's just nothing you can do. And with that, I'm going to miss some trades. And this shit just continues. But it's okay. I'm all right with it. There's, like I said, it's the extremely volatile nature of this tape, the V-shaped moves. I mean, I swear, this rally off the February lows, I'm not the only one that sees it. Everybody else that I know that's been in this game for a long time, trend following, can slim methodology, what have you, they all see the low volume, another V-shaped rally. It looks just like the October rally attempt. And as you know, that got going, suckered us in, and then we completely rolled over. You know what the difference between this rally attempt was and the last one in October? We had already higher lows in place from the August lows. I had technical breakout patterns and signals in quite a few stocks that actually got us too fully invested before the rollover. Remember, December wiped out our entire gains for 2015, so this has been a tough market since the top in December. But right now, we're just not getting signals, and on that end, I don't have any long signals at all. The only interesting signal today was GENC, and it's not a signal because it's not a pocket pivot point signal. It's just a really nice stock chart, but we're already long. I went long back here on the 26th. Would have preferred to have gotten my signal on the 24th, but volume wasn't big enough to trigger a signal for me in my price volume BOP scans and new highs, obviously, because it didn't hit a new high, so it wouldn't show up in the new high scan. Here it hit a new high, so it showed up in the new high scan. Volume surge is big enough that it showed up in my daily volume surge scan. But overall, today, nice move, already long, but it's not a pocket pivot point signal move because it's not right off the 10-day moving average, and plus volume is also lower than this day here on the 1st. So just not everything is lining up. It's just, typical of this volatile tape. So GSV, EBR was the other disappointment, and then MNOV. MNOV went supernova here. IB had shares to short, told everybody I want to go short this thing in the morning, but I would like to see it move higher, and then as it starts to fade off the highs, that's then what I would look to start shorting and then establish my risk point. Damn it, should have just taken it overnight because it opened at the high of the day and it just sold off the rest of the session. We would have been short, would have been scared here following the move on the 2nd yesterday, but today MNOV implodes, fell all the way down to 455, but you can see where it's closing at 595. Pretty big intraday reversal. Still, I think this stock's broken, but like I said, if I wasn't on Maui, eventually I'll get back to being awake during the entire market session, but right now, my current living situation with my girlfriend does not allow that with her schedule, and I want to respect that, as since whenever we met, day trading full-time was not on the table. It unfortunately has come back on the table because reality has set in that day trading is much more lucrative whenever we focus on the right stocks based on pre-market action every day and based on the hot sectors than end-of-day trend following. We just got too many moves like OME and then MNOV and then EBR, GSV, and OCLR to deal with, and VLRS. VLRS is hitting new highs. So as long as we have a tape like this, we're just going to take it easy and just be patient. But overall, that's it. There's only OMEs at 50% sell in today. Gen C was the only interesting pattern on an up day in the market. I flagged nothing else at all. But like I said, there's a lot of potential plays out there. There's a lot of wrong moves too. Cray should have been pulling back slowly and steadily on low volume to the 50-day moving average. Instead, today it tried to break out, pocket pivot point signal, but it reversed off its intraday highs. That's, it's hard to get really bullish about a market like that. We're going to have to start seeing stocks do more like XRS, and XRS still needs a lot more work before that 250-day moving average tightens up and offers a better reward risk entry. Right now, it's just too damn scary with this rally coming on below average volume, with us now getting to some pretty clear resistance levels and the lack of breakouts from sound consolidation patterns. It's just, I'm fine where I'm at. I'm about 15% long, about 1.25% short. The rest is cash. I'm way okay with that.